I'm Arthur Moats, and I'm here to tell you about my new book, The Moats Theory of Life. If you haven't picked up a copy yet, I strongly encourage you to. This book not only is a fun read, but it's a guide to helping you become a person of impact and inspiration. If you are ready to take the next step to improving not only your life, but those around you as well, go get a copy of The Moats Theory of Life, and it's available at moatstheory.com. What's up? It's the Arthur Moats Experience with Deke. I'm Arthur Moats, and that's my main man, Deke.
What's up, bro?
Man, franchise tag deadline has passed officially. No more extensions. Speak now, forever hold your peace. Some people spoke. Some people are forever holding their peace until this time next year, man. What was your thoughts on some of the things, man? We saw Dak, no deal done. Bud, no deal done. Derrick Henry does get a deal done. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Yannick Ngakoue, excuse me, I was about to butcher that. No deal done. I think that was to be expected.
Yep.
Yeah.
I guess we'll start off with the Dak one.
Yeah.
I think that's expected for sure.
Okay.
So he's playing on the franchise tag, $31 million. What was he looking for? He was looking for 40, high 30s, mid 30s.
High 30s, yeah. They were offering 35,
he wanted,
I think they said.
He wanted just 4 years, where they wanted 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's, like I said, it's expected. Dak wanted that. The Cowboys weren't willing to give it. Who's right, who's wrong? I mean, I think Dak probably should have taken that extra year. I think the Cowboys have a perfect situation for him. I mean, they got young pieces on offense, Amari Cooper, Zeke Elliott. They got him under contract for the next, next 4 or 5 years, I think. Michael Gallup, Blake Jarwin, they just drafted CeeDee Lamb, first-round pick. I mean, their defense is not that bad either. I think they have a lot of talent there, too.
Especially in the front seven.
Yeah, the whole question is, what do you want? I mean, Dak's looking for a bigger deal. I don't know if he's going to get that outside of Dallas right now. I think there is something to be said for continuity. We've talked this in the past, where if he's going out on the open market, that's not going to be there. And I don't know if someone's going to value Dak higher than the Cowboys do right now just because he's been in the system. It's just one of those spots. I mean, both wanted different things, and you got a contract for $31 million this year. So it's one of those things you got to go out and prove that you're worth the whatever contract you want. You know, maybe it's going to be a little bit more next year. Maybe you can get the 4-year deal next year. But that would anyway be 5 years if he would have signed it right now. So I don't know if he'd want a 3-year deal next year. So yeah, I don't know, dude. I mean, I don't think either of us are really thinking Dak's like this elite quarterback that deserves $40 million. So it depends on what you want. Like maybe, 34, 35. Could you argue that? Maybe, yeah. Like a more closer to a Carson Wentz deal. But if he wanted more than that, that's when I'm like,
So for me, man, did you finish?
I'm done, dude.
All right. I think for me, man, this mismanagement on the Cowboys side. First off, Dak is a 4th-round pick. Dak has made $4 million total in his years there. You think about what he brings to the table. I know you're a QBR guy. He's top 5 QBR, regardless if you're talking regular season, if you're talking versus winning opponents, losing opponents, you're talking fourth quarter comebacks. He has all of these things. He's a really good quarterback. He is a franchise quarterback. So for me, the fact that you look at Dallas and you look at everyone they paid ahead of time, everyone when Zeke hardballed him, remember that. Zeke was playing hardball with him and they caved to him. They caved to DeMarcus Lawrence. They caved to Jalen Smith. They caved to all these other guys beforehand. Whereas the quarterback position, which we say is the most important position, you have your franchise guy in Dak. Dak is still a top 10 quarterback, regardless of how we want to slice it. He's a top 10 quarterback. For me, I look at it this way, though, man. I'm like, you pay all these other positions that aren't going to affect wins and losses as much as if Dak is not on that team. If Dak isn't playing, it's going to be a lot different. We talked about how even when Zeke potentially was going to hold out, how I think it was it Pollard they had at the run? I want to say it was Pollard they had, and we still can see how he can still be successful. The receiving corps are there now. Now that you got you like you say, you already have a Gallup down there, but now you add in a CeeDee Lamb to go with Amari Cooper, you're loaded. You're good to go. But you got to take care of the most important position. Without the quarterback position, it doesn't matter. We saw that firsthand here in Pittsburgh last year. You don't take care of quarterback, there's going to be an issue, and it's going to affect you in the wins and losses category. So the fact that Dak being a 4th round pick and has put in all his time being grossly underpaid, I mean, it's been times his backup quarterback has made more money than him by what, $2 million, $3 million at times. For me, if I'm the Cowboys and this is a guy found in the 4th round, that it wasn't like he was some steal either. Let's be real. No one said that, oh man, I think Dak is going to be the next, Tom Brady or the next Peyton Man. No one ever said that. But now you see what he's been able to do in his 4 years there under like I said, a very, very below average rookie contract. It's like, yeah, man, he needs some reparations. He needs his money. So for me, if you offering him 35, but he wants 37, you pay him the 37. Don't try to make up for paying the other guys early and saying, all right, well, now I'm not going to pay him. I'm going to take this hardball stance, because he's more important than any of those other guys in terms of wins and losses.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing, though, is you're going to be paying him for what he's going to be doing. And it goes back to what you were saying about you didn't think he was Tom Brady back then when he was a rookie. And we see him played 4 years in the league. I don't think the Cowboys are thinking he's going to be Tom Brady after being in the league for 4 years. And that's the kind of quarterback that you want to be paying that type of money.
This is my thing. At 4 years, he's already accomplished a ton. So you mean to tell me this is a guy that you could potentially have for another 7-8 years easily? I'm paying that. That's my franchise guy. We seen how many teams that come on, let's be real, right? Cincinnati, would you consider Andy Dalton a franchise quarterback?
No, I think
they had him forever, right?
I think that's a good comparison.
But Dak is far and away a better quarterback than Andy Dalton. And my thing is this: you do all this work to build.
I would take him over Dalton, yes, but far and away, I don't know, dude. I think there's a reason they brought him in, and it's like, we're going to have you on this franchise tag here.
The reason why they brought him in is because they needed a backup quarterback.
Well, there's that too, but dude, if Dak doesn't, completely ball out here, and the Cowboys don't feel like he's worth that type of money, or if they're like, we'll sign Dalton here for 18, 20 million for next year, maybe even 15 million, and we think we can have basically the same production.
See, I think it's going to be a big drop off in production. But what I will say is this: I think that Dak, you said that you don't think you can go in the open market and get paid. Quarterbacks like Dak that hit the open market will get paid. People didn't think Kirk Cousins was going to get paid. You saw what he got.
The quarterback market's a little bit different now. It seems like everyone's pretty much set right now.
No, I'm talking a year from now.
That's what happened with Cam and Jameis.
We're talking a year from now. If Dak is a free agent next year, he's going to break the bank. That's his point blank period. That's how it is.
Who's going to be open though? I could maybe see
Chicago will be open. We can go down the list of teams that'll be open with quarterback. Jacksonville's still going to be open.
Yeah, but wouldn't they just take like Trevor Lawrence or one of these top 3 guys?
But you know how, it's no guarantee you're going to have a top 3 pick. So now if you're picking at 10, then what?
Yeah, if they're that bad, then yeah, they would.
But no, so we weren't bad this year at quarterback?
Yeah,
we didn't have a top 10 pick though, did we?
Yeah, we've been though.
No. I'm just saying in general. We were bad this year, right?
That's what I'm saying.
But you know how bad you have to be to have a top 3 pick to get one of those guys?
If you look at value, though, so I know we say we don't know what the market's going to be, but could it be something similar to this year where you're seeing Dalton sign somewhere as a backup for $8 million? You're seeing Cam Newton sign for $1 million, Jameis Winston. So these guys are backups right now. But they're going to hit the market again.
How does that affect what Dak has done to this point? Dak doesn't have the injury history of a Cam Newton. Dak has been more productive than Andy Dalton. Dak doesn't turn the ball nowhere near as much as Jameis Winston does.
I get that, but honestly, in a vacuum, in terms of talent, I think Jameis Winston is better than Dak. He's going to be with the Saints here this whole. We were talking about the whole branding thing. Go in the QB system, come out, and everyone's going to think you're going to be amazing. Cam Newton with Bill Belichick now too. I mean, I think Cam Newton's just better than Dak. No, in a vacuum.
If he's healthy, sure. But my thing is this: there are concerns and question marks surrounding both of those players you just named. What's your concern or question mark surrounding the Dak Prescott?
He's just not good enough.
He's still a top 10 quarterback.
Yeah, but if I'm
so what are we talking about here?
I disagree with that, but still.
So name the 10 that you have ahead of him.
I gotta pull up the QBs right now. I'm taking Cam over him.
The fact that you said you're taking Cam over him, Cam hasn't played in what, a year now?
I would.
You're tripping, man. From my personal opinion, you're tripping. You living in the past with that.
All right, you got. Hold on, let me pull up the QBs, dude. Like he might be in like the 16, 17 range, 15. Hold on.
I gotta hear this one.
NFL QB. This isn't gonna be in order or anything. This is just gonna be however many quarterbacks.
Yeah, the 10 quarterbacks that are better than Dak right now.
All right. I don't like this list. It's got it where I gotta skip from page to page here.
Come on, man. Just name names, man. You should be able to just name off the top of your head. If you got 10 quarterbacks that are better than Dak,
here we go.
Name off the top of your head.
All right, we got Mahomes here. We got Jackson.
Okay, that's 2.
Russell Wilson.
3.
Breeze. Tom Brady.
5.
Aaron Rodgers,
6.
Deshaun Watson.
Debatable.
So they got Dak at 8 here, which I disagree with. So I'll take Matt Stafford over him too. Big Ben, Carson Wentz.
No,
I'm not taking Cousins. I would take Matt Ryan over him. They got Tannehill in there. Phillip Rivers, nah. Josh Allen, nah. You know what? I think Kyler Murray's definitely going to have a better year than him. I don't know if I would say right now. I definitely think Kyler Murray's going to have a better year than him.
Oh, boy.
Jared Goff, no. Jones, no. Drew Lock, no. Derek Carr, no. Bridgewater, no. Minshew. So, yeah, what's that? Probably around 13.
That was at worst.
They didn't have Cam there, too, so I got Cam over him, too.
So, like you said, at worst 13, that's what you're saying?
Yeah, around there.
Yeah. For me, I don't agree with that. I personally think that he's just as good as a Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson.
That's what I feel, man. Yeah. That's
how
I feel.
Dude. I think Deshaun Watson can carry a team with less talent.
We're going to find out this year because I feel like Deshaun Watson is a really good quarterback without a doubt, but he benefits largely from a DeAndre Hopkins. So we're going to see what that looks like without a DeAndre Hopkins. Can you still, quote unquote, carry this team with a Brandon Cooks?
Yeah, it'll be fine.
We're going to find out.
He'll be fine. Like his stats, actually, if you look at his stats last year, it's weird because in a way they were really good, but also they were underwhelming where I don't think he's going to lose a step this year. I don't think there's this margin for error with a drop off with Deshaun Watson. So
you lose your number one receiver, there will be a drop off. So we're going to find out, man.
Like, I don't know if I'm paying, Kirk Cousins. I've talked about this before. Those dudes in that teen range, that mid-teen to late-teen range, if I'm paying them
you just said
30s,
that your worst-case scenario, the numbers you just named, the names you just named was at 13. I think he's a top 10 quarterback. So that's still not that far off. Those guys will get paid on the open market.
Yeah, Wentz is getting, 32, 33, and I'm saying he's under Wentz. So now you're getting into that high 20s range then for that mid-teens. That's what I think they should be paid.
No, I'm not following you on that because let's be real about it. When Wentz got his deal, that was 2 years ago now?
Yeah.
The market works once that guy gets set.
I think it was last year.
Okay, so at the beginning of last year. So once he gets paid, the next guy gets more. The next guy that's how it typically works. Outside of your mega deals like a Patrick Mahomes, that's how it works.
Are we sure we're doing the right thing by just always inflating it though? That's my question for a quarterback.
I ain't gonna go there.
You have your top 10 guys. I would even say top 7 or 8 that you're just like, all right, I'm good with paying these guys.
Regardless of what they coming off of, regardless of everything.
I definitely think it's a legitimate discussion of like, where can I find value at the quarterback position here now? If I don't have a guy I can completely trust, or I know for a fact is a franchise guy, man, where can I find the value? Because I think last year I brought this up like way when we started with it was Tannehill whenever he was a free agent. And the Titans signed him for $7 or $8 million.
Yeah,
that was kind of my thing. There was all this talk about the Dak contract. I was like, man, couldn't you find value in Tannehill getting him for 1 year, $7 or $8 million, as opposed to paying Dak long term?
See, I don't agree with that. I think Dak is a far and away better quarterback than a Tannehill.
I don't know, far and away better. I would say better for sure because I'm not high on Tannehill.
So my thing is this: if you just listed quarterbacks, you said at worst Dak is at 13.
Yeah, it's like 13, 14.
So then that means if he's not far and away, do you have Tannehill at 15? Because you're so anti Tannehill, you did that on the last podcast.
It's unfortunate. Just
so where's he at?
You have all these mid-tier quarterbacks that I just don't really want to bother with. To be honest with you, like. I'll rank them for you, but once you hit a certain point in my ranking, I'm like, geez, oh man. Because now it becomes to how much am I paying these guys? And I don't want to be paying them in the high 30s.
But it's guys that are getting way more than that have some other question marks around them as well.
Who though?
I'm not about to say that dude's name.
Ben, come on,
bro. What are we talking about here?
We're good with Ben with that.
I'm just simply saying that you talked about the contract value standpoint. Well, that doesn't bring you the best value right there.
He's in that franchise list. I'm just simply
saying, we talked about the value of it. It doesn't bring you the most value.
Yeah, but then we could say the same thing about Rodgers, Mahomes, any dude that's
absolutely. We can.
I
think that Mahomes, Mahomes is fine from a value standpoint.
I don't agree with that though. I'm good with paying those guys because I trust them. Those guys are great quarterbacks.
Okay.
I do, seriously. I mean, you don't...
Even if Dak's numbers are just as good as some of those guys in the recent future.
When down the stretch in the playoffs, can I trust you there?
When have those guys down the stretch of lately done anything in the playoffs?
When the NFC East on the road against the banged-up Philadelphia Eagles team.
When have those guys that you keep naming done the winning down the stretch in the playoffs? Drew Brees hasn't of lately.
I mean, it does come back to team, though, dude.
It comes back to team. Why you keep bouncing around, man?
It's the nature of the game. You're not going to win every year.
I'm just simply saying we could go with 3-year sample size or a 4-year sample size. Has any of those guys done big winning? I think the only one you could say is Drew Brees. He lost an NFC Championship game. Outside of that, where are we seeing these other guys with the big winning? The winning down the stretch in the playoffs.
My question is, why aren't they willing to pay Dak this amount?
I think because with Jerry Jones, he's very stubborn. I think that plays a big part into it. And I think, like I said, they mismanaged. I think because they paid all those other guys early that didn't need to get paid when they got paid, now they're trying to set a new precedent to say that, you know what? No, we're going to take this hardball stance here. They didn't take that hardball stance with Zeke. Remember, Zeke was in Cabo working out, said, if you don't pay me, I'm not showing up.
I think there's a reason they're paying Zeke, and, they are playing hardball and willing to get him in there over Dak because they feel like, we have this offense around us. Dak could put up numbers or whatnot, but I just don't trust him down the stretch. I don't. That's
even though his fourth quarter QBR is top 5 in the NFL. Even though his QBR when he's coming back from a 1-score game is still top 5 in the NFL. You still don't trust him down the stretch.
It's cool, dude.
You still don't trust him in the fourth quarter. You still don't trust him in clutch moments. Come on, man. What are you saying here, baby?
No, dude.
You said this. You said you don't trust him down the stretch, but his numbers back it up down the stretch.
They don't. It doesn't.
I just told you they do.
It doesn't pass the eye test overall. He went on the road against the Eagles, far better team, should have won. I mean, the Eagles didn't have anything. He just lost, dude. He just lost. He's underperformed in big moments. It wasn't a team element though, right? Yeah.
So Zeke killed it the whole game. Amari Cooper got off the whole game.
Dude, he's underperformed though. It's one thing to have your quarterback perform and be let down, but he's underperformed in these moments.
I'm just asking you. You keep naming this Eagles game. So where was the Zeke Elliott that's already gotten paid? Where was that at? He should be able to take over the game and win it for you, right?
I don't know what to tell you.
Where was Amari Cooper in that game? He should be able to take it over and win it for you, right?
Quarterback's a little bit more important.
No, you just said though that
I'm thinking defense, dude. It's one thing.
So where were these guys at?
It's one thing for Big Ben and Breeze and these dudes to ball out and then just be let down by their defense.
So was that the case with Dak?
I mean, come on. We're looking back at this game, and I just remember. I know I did, and I remember him failing. That's what I remember.
But you keep saying, but is that not a team thing, or is that a him thing though? Because you brought that game
scored how many points? Single digits?
So where was Zeke at? Where was Zeke that's already paid? Where was he at?
There's something, that's what I mean. There's something about a quarterback being able to carry a team.
No, it's something about the guys that are already paid being able to carry a team. So maybe they paid the wrong people there. You said it's the reason why they paid Zeke over Dak, right? So if you pay Zeke what you pay him.
You're paying a quarterback more money than a running back, though. That's just the name of the game.
I'm just simply saying. If
I want a quarterback that's able to bring me back when I'm down in the second half. And I'm not saying it, dude.
So Ben has never not come back. Ben always comes back.
Yeah, but he's definitely in the top 3 or 4. If you look at the stats,
I'm just saying, has he ever had a game where he didn't come back?
It has happened. It's happened with everyone. Yeah.
Okay. So it's safe to say that, even if that's the one game that you're talking about,
I know
that could be the one game for Dak.
We're still waiting for Dak in big moments. We're still waiting. NFC East title on the line. Not able to do it.
Okay.
Not able to do it. There's been 4 or 5 moments in the playoffs. Ben's been able to do it. I know for a fact. But, dude, I mean, other quarterbacks have been able to do it as well. Okay. Russell Wilson, we see it countless times. Tom Brady.
What about Tom Brady this year? He was wild card. Wild card got beat by the Titans. That Ryan Tannehill guy that you said is terrible, right?
Huh? Dude, I mean, you want to talk about team and all that type of stuff, man.
You keep bouncing around. 1 minute is team, 1 minute is I want a quarterback who could just win in spite of it all.
Tom Brady.
He didn't win in spite of it all.
Are we just simply going off last year, though?
That's what we're talking about.
I'm not paying Dak simply off last year, then. I think
okay, what about the year before then? Because he balled out then, too. His numbers are there. We talked about his numbers are there with the best of them. You put his numbers up there, we can go down the list of quarterbacks whose numbers are better than him. It's a very, very small list.
His second and third years weren't as good as his rookie year, and they weren't as gaudy numbers as last year.
His numbers are there.
That's fine,
you can
dude.
go a single year. You can go 4 years. I think he should have got paid $37. I think he's a $37 million. You can give me
that, and that's the thing. I just think it's a mistake. I haven't seen him beat a Tom Brady, a Big Ben, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson. You can name all these quarterbacks. I haven't seen him be that type of caliber quarterback yet, and that's why I'm not paying him that amount.
Okay. Now, since Aaron Rodgers,
I don't think he can carry a team.
Well,
I don't think he can carry a team like that.
So since Aaron Rodgers has gotten paid, how much carrying of a team has he done? How many playoff wins has he accounted for?
Well, I don't know, man. You could pay Dak. I don't care.
Maybe it's bad business to pay the quarterback then. I mean, because Aaron Rodgers hasn't accounted for so much, has he?
Dude, that's what I asked at the beginning, though. About, are we starting to question this?
I'm just saying, man, that's what it is, though. The quarterback is the most important spot, so you pay the quarterback. You have to.
I'm good. That gives you the best chance. I still think Rodgers can do it, dude. I think his team was worse than the 49ers, and that's why.
I think he had a better team than the 49ers.
No way.
What? Their defense was amazing last year.
The Packers defense?
Yes, they had 2 pass rushers that could rush with the best of them.
No, the 49ers defense was 50 times better.
Okay, the 49ers defense had, a top 3 defense? Packers were top 5, top 7 at worst?
That's not what all the stats say, but...
Okay. A lot of them do.
You could argue top 15. But
they top 10 worst case scenario, bro. Stop.
They felt like more like a 10-16, but on offense, what else is
Rodgers wasn't doing anything last year to that point.
And, if we're comparing him to Dak Prescott in that offense, dude, if you give Rodgers, Zeke Elliott, and those receivers, come on, man. Okay. That's a completely different story. He's got Aaron Jones, who he had a really good year last year, but I don't think you're
1,000-yard rusher, right?
I don't think he's anywhere close to definitely outside the top 10 in terms of running backs, I would say.
Just off of his stats last year, it would say a different thing. That's all I'm saying, man.
Very touchdown dependent, though. And they're bringing in this guy for more goal line carries. Dylan.
Okay.
I mean, I'm really not projecting him. He could have the same amount of yards, but I mean, he had a really good year fantasy-wise. But I don't think you're saying a top 10 running back. Zeke is a top 2 or 3 running backs.
So do you consider Le'Veon a top 10 running back? Just a quick question.
Le'Veon?
Yeah.
I definitely think he's better than Aaron Jones. Yeah.
I'm just saying because a lot of people don't view him as a top 10 running back right now.
I do, yeah.
Okay.
I would still put him in the top 10. Okay. Yeah. That's just a tough situation right now.
I feel like you're more nostalgia based though versus like present time.
You put Le'Veon Bell with Aaron Rodgers?
I'm just simply saying I feel like you live in the nostalgia a lot though, man, of what guys did in the past versus what guys are doing right now.
Nah, because I'm good with this Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He can have a big year with Kansas City. I mean, there's some of these young guys.
Just think about when you talk about Tannehill. You're quick to bring up Tannehill as this bum quarterback, but this year he had a really, really good year. We talked about that.
But then I saw the playoffs.
He went to the AFC Championship game. What are we talking about here?
Off 80 yards in 2 games, and
he went to the AFC Championship game.
Like I said, with him, Dak, Cousins, when it really counts. Mm-hmm. And all right, you can win a divisional game, you can win a wild card game. In these championship games, it's not happening.
I'm just off the quarterbacks you keep naming. How many of them done anything in these championship games?
Who?
Of your top 5 guys you keep naming, the past 5 years, none of them have been in championship games. So what are we talking about here?
What? Aaron Rodgers last year? Drew Brees,
okay.
Yeah.
Did they win them? Did they win these championship games? That's what I'm saying.
Tom Brady has been in how many?
I'm saying outside of Brady. When was Ben's last AFC Championship game win? When was Drew Brees' last NFC Championship game win? When was Aaron Rodgers' last NFC Championship game win? You keep bringing this up when you talk Tannehill. You keep bringing this up when you talk Dak. You bring that up with all these other quarterbacks. But when we talk about your holy grail of guys, they've only... How many times has Aaron Rodgers done it? Once. He's done it one Super Bowl. So please tell me, when was the other one? When is the other appearance he had? When is the other big win he's done it?
He's done it. And if anything...
He's done it once.
The defenses have cost him.
Oh my gosh.
He's done it. All those guys have done it before, dude.
They did it once.
All those guys
once or
have done
twice.
It before. You had Peyton Manning and Tom Brady and Ben in a lot of these AFC Championship games. Flacco was in that one too. So there was a stretch of that.
So you mean to tell me Flacco and Aaron Rodgers both have the same amount of big winning, according to you? Yes. According to you, say that's big winning.
There's one thing. See, that's the thing. If you listen, dude, if you want to completely box me in and just say playoff success is all that makes a quarterback, then I don't agree with that because there is something to it. You weigh it in, but Rodgers has MVPs. He's carried the Packers and is able. I mean, there is something. There's that stat out there. He has a poor time. I don't know if it's a poor time coming back or just his stats aren't there for fourth quarter comebacks. But then if you look,
you're talking about Aaron Rodgers,
if you look at his years though, dude, like there were games like they went 15-1 the one year. There's just been times where they haven't needed to come back because he's been that good and that dominant. I don't think he's not capable. We saw in the Seahawks game last year. It was I don't want to say clutch time, but there was a big throw he needed the fade ball to Devontae Adams. Rodgers is making that throw.
Okay,
he can make that throw. And I don't, and that's the thing. Like I don't think he has fear or anything in those type of moments. I think he's pretty fearless. You've seen some of those Hail Marys. I'm not going to use that as my argument, but
so does Dak have fear in these clutch moments then?
No, I'm not saying that. I don't know if he's got the ability, though.
Fair enough.
I don't think he's got the ability.
Fair enough. All right. In Pittsburgh, no Bud Dupree extension. Thoughts on that, man?
That's, we were talking about this a little bit before we got on the mic, and, I think it was expected. We were just for the team standpoint, I know he wanted the long-term deal, but just based off having 1 year of this crazy good production, and then just what he's getting paid for this 1 year, it makes sense for him to take it. You're getting 15 million. He's trying to get that up to 17 million. But yeah, that's a pretty good number for 1 year's worth of work.
Yeah, I don't want to just say 1 year's worth of work, but that was obviously the big splash year. And we talked about how it was a gamble between the Steelers and him a year ago when they didn't extend him. They just gave him the 5th-year option. But it paid off for him. He's going to get his check. And then, I mean, for him, he's in a win situation. I think it's a win-win for him and the organization. If he balls out, he's going to get a mega deal in the market. And if he balls out, then the Steelers get a comp pick. So that's how I always look at it. Like, for the people that want to say that Bud can't do it again, or they're doubting him or things like that, if you are a Bud doubter or anything like that, you would actually want to root for him even more so this year, because that helps the team in the long run from a comp pick, even though I don't really value the comp picks the same way. I think it's like everybody else does. But yeah, in terms of them not getting a deal done, I didn't think it was going to get done either. Like you said, we talked about it. When you got guys like TJ Watt, Cam Hayward that are definitely ahead of him in terms of the pecking order to get a deal done, you can't allot the type of money that Bud was going to demand right now. When you have those two guys, you got to get paid. And that doesn't even account for what Juju could potentially get depending on what he does this season also. So, I mean, yeah, it's like I said, it's just the business of it. We'll find out if he does get the classification as a DN for the tag, get him an extra $2 million. But other than that, I didn't think it was too big of a surprise. Do I think it's the right decision? Yeah.
For the Steelers?
Yeah, I think it's the right decision for the Steelers. And for Bud. Bud, I mean, obviously could have took a trash deal from them for the sake of staying in Pittsburgh, but I don't think that would have been good.
Either that or holding out. I don't think holding out was going to really do much good for you either.
Correct. Yeah, I don't think that benefits him.
You want to just have a good fresh start to the year and just ball out this year, and then you're either going to get a really, really good franchise tag next year, or you're really, really going to get paid. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, and like we were saying, you're getting $15 million. That's pretty good for a year. Yeah. You just want that long-term security, but where he's at in his career, it makes sense for both sides.
Yeah, and it's a difference between his situation and Le'Veon's situation. Le'Veon had already been tagged, got 400 touches. And the running back position, we talked about how it's devalued heavily, whereas the pass rusher position, sometimes I feel like it's overvalued. You know what I mean? People are quick to overpay for an edge rusher. So those things factor into Bud saying, man, it makes sense to just sign the tag, play this year, get the fifth. I think it's 15.8, and then I'm going to hit the market. If Bud goes out there and has 7 or 8 sacks this year, he's going to get paid next year as soon as he hits the market. That's just how it goes. So, yeah, I thought it was a good idea. I think he's good in that department.
For sure. We got what? Do we have
Derrick Henry.
2 more players next?
Yeah, Derrick Henry. He got paid right at the deadline, man. That deal finished like 2 minutes before the clock hit, man.
Yep. What is it? It's 4 years, $50 million?
4 years, 50 with 25 guaranteed. Yeah.
Let me double check that. I think it is.
It's 25.2 guaranteed. Yeah. But I thought it was good, man. In terms of them being able to actually take care of both him and Tannehill in the same offseason. We thought it was going to have to be one of those either or type things, but yeah, they were able to get them both done. The number doesn't break the bank for the Titans. It makes Derrick Henry still a top 5 paid running back, and he was going to be top 5 paid regardless if he played on the tag that was going to be for $10 million, or the new deal that's going to pay him, I think it's $12.5 million this season and things like that. So when you factor in those things, good business on both sides. He didn't want anything crazy from a record-breaking standpoint. Obviously, we just saw the deal with Christian McCaffrey, so people thought that, hey, maybe he could try to demand that type of stuff, but I think he was smart in terms of the deal that he got. And it's both good for him and good for the team.
Yeah, double digits. I think that's a good number for a running back. If you are the running back, like personally, right. I think if you're over double digits, that's not anything to like complain about. And I think in his scenario, compared to a McCaffrey, he had that one great year last year, whereas his other years, there was a little bit more to be desired. Yeah. Now, will he take a little bit of a drop off from last year? Even if he does, if he's 90%, 90%.
You think he will?
I just think that's going to be natural, yeah.
You said him and Tannehill falling off. The Titans are going to be the worst team. You said the worst team in the NFL or the AFC?
No, I never said that, dude. They have a crappy division. They have a really crappy division.
You said they going from AFC Championship game to being the absolute worst team. That's what you told me.
I don't care what their record is, dude, because they might be 7-9, 8-8, 9-7 again, but dude, I mean, just based off how bad their division is, and who knows, they might make the playoffs, but I'm just telling you this, they're not doing anything. I'm telling you this for a fact.
I was about to say, what's big winning again?
They're not good.
Just what's the big winning again? Because they went AFC Championship game last year, so what's big winning? Just for the clarification.
They're not winning a Super Bowl, dude. They don't have a shot. They don't have a shot. They didn't have a shot last year.
They went to the AFC Championship game last year.
They didn't have a shot.
They went on the road to New England and to Baltimore. That's all I'm saying, man. They got it done in two hostile environments, man.
I told you, man. It was a cute run. I don't believe in them this year. Don't believe in Tannehill. Don't believe in. I'm not going to say don't believe in Henry. If anything, I believe in Henry.
Okay,
but no.
It's gonna be interesting, man. We'll see.
No, just not happening. I mean, there's something to be said for, like I was talking about those quarterbacks, man. Mahomes, these dudes being able to do it in big moments. Obviously, Flacco, you could put on that stage, and even like Foles, but they did that. Like they balled out in those playoff runs, and I don't think a lot of these guys are capable. Foles and Flacco, they had these outlier years. You just whatever. You just got to tip your cap to them. But outside of that, you got your franchise guys. That's it.
You are funny, man.
Yeah.
All right, and then let's see who else got paid, man. Myles Garrett just got a big deal too, man. 5 years, $100 million. I think it was 50 guaranteed. I want to say.
Yeah,
man.
I got this pulled up. Hold on. I got nothing against the deal.
Okay.
So I just wanted to show you the numbers and everything. So he's
5 for 100.
He's at $25 million a year. The next best guy in terms of money is DeMarcus Lawrence at $21 million a year. Frank Clark at 20.8. Yeah. Trey Flowers at 18. That's 4. I guess Ngakoue. He's on the tag. 17. Cam Jordan 17. D Ford 17. Yeah. So like that's $4 million over DeMarcus Lawrence, and then over some of these other top 10 guys. That's a decent chunk of change that he has over him.
Yeah.
Now, do you think that's going to be more the norm with these DNs coming up?
Well, traditionally DNs do get paid more than like your outside linebacker types and stuff like that. But I think, man,
you think it's going to like keep going up like this though?
I don't see why it wouldn't. We talk about building a franchise: quarterback, pass rusher, left tackle. That's traditionally how it goes, man. And when you look at Myles Garrett, his productivity is there.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to the deal at all.
Could make the debate for me in terms of if he's the number 1 or top 3 just true DN edge rusher in the NFL. Like, you can make that debate for him. He has all that going for him. He's a very productive player. I don't have an issue with the deal. I think that's a guy that you want to keep. I mean, you drafted him where you drafted him for a reason. He's produced the way he's produced for a reason as well. So I think you do compensate him with the contract like that.
They got him a year early, right?
Yes.
This was after his third year last year. So yeah, they got him a year early. So I guess that makes sense from a team standpoint. He's getting paid a decent chunk of change. And honestly, after like some of these names that I'm naming, getting him after his third year like that, some of these other guys are a little bit later in their career, like, Cam Jordan, and then you have J.J. Watt like down at 9.
Yeah.
Frank Clark's a little bit older. Am I wrong on that?
No, Frank. Frank is a little bit older than Myles, yes, but he's still 26, 27 at the latest.
Yeah, but that's what I mean, though, for Myles Garrett to get him at this age and at this point in his career.
But Myles Garrett, I feel like, is the better player between those guys you just named as it sits today.
27 for Frank Clark, yep. So, no, that's what I mean. It's like a combination of all those things to where it makes sense. Now,
but see, it's stuff like that, though. It makes sense to get him his deal early, right? Imagine if you waited a year or you franchise him after next year and now you're paying him 2 years from now with the productivity. He's going to command so much more. When I think of going back to the Dak situation, the reason why it's so frustrating, they could have taken care of this 2 years prior to this and got him way cheaper. It wouldn't even been a debate. Now you're sitting here 2 years later with the productivity. Now, after guys ain't got paid, the market is reset. That's my biggest issue with that. You see what I mean? Whereas 2 years ago, man, you might could have got Dak high 20s. You might could have got him for 28, 29. Imagine that third
There might have been rumors about that, though, to be honest with you.
No, it wasn't, bro.
There might have been.
No, it wasn't, bro. They weren't trying to give him the deal like that. And that's where everybody had an issue with Dallas waiting so long. And that's why Dallas is viewed as the bad party right now, because it's like, bro, you're in this mess now because you drug your feet and paid everyone else but him. And remember the 1 year where they were actually talking about trying to get a deal done with Dak? That was the year they paid Zeke. And then the following year was when either they paid Cooper or they paid Jalen on the defense.
I think they got Zeke and Cooper at the same time. This was just last year. Yeah.
And that was the issue, was like, bro, like, take care of your quarterback here, man. So that's why for me, man, I'm like, I don't want to hear any of this other stuff. Like, y'all could have been taking care of this, and now because the number done went up, and rightfully so, now you got to deal with it. You got to make your bed now, man.
Yeah, and now it all depends. Like, are we willing to pay him this $38 million now? Because that's a whole nother situation because it's like we can't go back 2 years, but right now it's like.
But that's why initially I said mismanagement.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because that's the mismanagement element of it. This could have been done for a lot cheaper, a lot less headache, but you paid people that didn't necessarily need to be paid at that time.
Like I said, dude, I don't know. I thought there were rumors it was in the high 20s a couple years back, and then it got up into the 30s last year.
I remember last year you talking about getting into the 30s. Yeah.
That's what I mean. I don't know exactly what was going on there. But yeah, so I think for Myles Garrett, I think it makes sense, and for the Browns. But now my question to you is, I know we were talking about DN versus outside linebackers in terms of that amount. The DNs get a little bit more than outside linebackers. So what's going to happen here, in your opinion, in your prediction, looking forward a little bit?
Here we go.
We got TJ Watt. I mean, if you want to talk about production and all that type of stuff, he's on par with Myles Garrett for sure.
Correct.
I mean, Steeler fans would argue better. So he's outside linebacker though. Right. But he's technically a defensive end for us because he's that pass rusher type. So what do you think this type of deal is going to look like for him when looking at this deal for Garrett?
I think it'd be similar to Garrett. I don't know if it'd be more, but this is the thing. Myles got paid now. TJ, you probably paying a year from now. Depending on what TJ's productivity is, that can actually make it where he would get even more. If you were paying him right now, as it says, I think it'd be similar to Myles, but I don't know if it would be necessarily more than Myles. But going forward a year later, let's be real, man. If TJ keeps going the way he's going, he's going to warrant more money. And that's what we say how it goes. Like, you talk about the pass rush that you named in terms of J.J. Watt. When J.J. Watt deal was done, it was the mega deal. Then you remember when Vaughn got his deal, it was the mega deal. Then when Khalil went, it was the mega deal. So it's always whoever's going after is traditionally going to get more if they're equal players. Or even if they're close. Just it always works that way.
You know who's not giving out these mega deals?
Oh.
Patriots.
Yeah.
They aren't, dude.
But they've been able to do that because they've had Brady for the longest time. So you didn't have to worry about building up all this around him. When you have Brady and then you can still get quality players. And at the time, remember, Brady was taking so much less than every other quarterback. You can still get really good players.
They're just smart about how they do things, dude. You get Darrelle Revis on a 1-year deal.
No, I'm not saying they smart how they do it. I think Brady doing his contract the way he did.
We'll find out. This is what's going to be most fascinating about this whole thing because, if Cam does have he completely balls out this year, what's he going to be getting, right? Could he be getting maybe a $30 million deal? At his age, he's still in his prime, so I could see that. Are they going to be willing to pay Cam that? Could he maybe be wanting to take a pay cut to stay with the Patriots, knowing like, man, this is like my best opportunity. I wanted to play here whenever I was a free agent this year, and it's like kind of everything is tracked up to be in terms of like culture and winning and that type of stuff. So, dude, we'll see, man. We'll see because we'll see how long Belichick sticks around.
Yeah, I'm not ready to just crown the Patriots and say, they do the best business in terms of how to do the contract because 90% of that was solely based on Brady taking the deal that he took. If Ben took a Brady deal, or if Aaron Rodgers took a Brady deal, or if Breeze took a Brady deal, their teams look drastically different as well. They have way more talent around them as well.
I mean, you correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know the type of, maybe Gilmore is their big deal right now.
That's their biggest deal right now.
But outside of that, I mean, even looking in the past, what players are they like signing for these lucrative amounts?
They traditionally don't. Gilmore's deal was
right now they're probably saying like, because I think it's the same thing with Revis. We want this like lockdown corner, and because of this, we find value in this. We could set up our defense in certain ways, so that's why we're doing this. Like, it seems like they have like a rhyme and reason to everything that they're doing up there. Though you get Randy Moss on the cheap with that trade with Oakland,
but Randy Moss had baggage with him though. It's different than if Randy was playing like how Randy played the year when he got with Brady. If he was playing like that prior to that happening, he never goes to New England. He never has to worry about that.
But that's what I mean. New England's, they're just savvy about how they do all this stuff. They just got Cam Newton for $1 million.
They do the flyers. They do what they're supposed to do in terms of low risk, high reward guys. You look at some of the guys that they'll bring in. Oh, this guy was a former first round pick. Kind of fills it out, hasn't really done anything, but he fits what they're trying to do from a scheme standpoint perfectly. All right, put him in there. He's good to go. We've seen that numerous times with them. They don't go off of the flashy signings. That's the difference. Whereas with most of the teams, they're like, okay, that's a big name guy. We know he's in his prime right now, and there is no risk or nothing like that. Let's pay him. Let's break the bank and get him. With New England, they'll say, well, hey, look, this guy, when he came out, he was a first round pick. He had a ton of talent. Guy like Barkevious Mingo, who was just average at best his whole time in Cleveland. Average at best whole time in Indianapolis. He goes up there, 7-8 sacks, wins the Super Bowl. Then after that, he goes and gets a check somewhere else. That's how they do it. They're like, okay, I don't have to pay. I don't have to get this guy.
I mean, it doesn't seem player friendly. It definitely doesn't.
Yeah. Like, but they take flyers on guys that are very talented, but either have baggage or they are coming off of a down season or whatever it may be, and that's how they operate.
Well, what I mean is you've talked about this before where other guys on a team, the team drafts someone. Mm-hmm. The other guys on the team see that they draft someone and they let him grow in the system for 3-4 years, and then they take care of the guy.
Correct.
I don't know, like how Patriots do things. I don't want to completely speak on all their moves because they've done that in the past. Like they drafted Dante Hightower, like he's been there for how long?
And then obviously Edelman's another guy that grew up in the
system. But it seems like it could be a little bit less player friendly in that regard, where someone's not getting these like lucrative deals like that.
Well, think about Jamie Collins was in line to get a mega deal, and what did they do? They traded him to Cleveland. Chandler Jones was a beast at the time when they traded him. Like they don't want to pay out the mega deals. But excuse me, they went from, okay, we'll trade Chandler Jones, but we'll bring in a guy like Rob Ninkovich who can come in here, be consistent, not as talented, not as good as a Chandler, but he fits what we're trying to do from a scheme standpoint.
Yeah, can he, take on 70 to 80% of the production of Chandler Jones, and then we fit that with someone else who can maybe doesn't have the Ninkovich skill set, but maybe has a little bit. Has this that could make up for the 20 or 30%.
Yeah,
dude, look, Cardinals got Chandler Jones. What have they been the past however many years?
Yeah, but Chandler's winning. He's fine.
He's winning in terms of money, but I mean, I don't know how much.
Yeah, but we also, from a team standpoint,
that's what I mean.
Their quarterback situation has been terrible up until Kyler Murray. Now, I mean, since Carson Palmer, who was their quarterback,
unless they're thinking, but like they switched the coaches, and I don't know about management in that time period where I don't think it's one of those plays.
Coaches get fired when they don't have good quarterbacks.
I don't think
you know that.
Yeah, but I don't think.
What are we talking about here?
Are they really thinking 3-4 years ago? Like, all right, we're gonna draft Jones right now, and then we're gonna suck the next 2 years and get Murray. I don't think coaches and management's thinking
just
that.
In general, if you don't have a quarterback, it doesn't matter the person that's around you. The Cardinals defense for years was a beast. Darryl Washington, Patrick Peterson, Chandler Jones, I'm drawing a blank, Adrian Wilson, like they have had amazing players on defense. Even Calais Campbell's out there dominating. Him and Frosty Rucker were out there just destroying people. The problem is if you don't have the quarterback, it does not matter.
Yeah, they lost Carson Palmer, they lost Bruce Arians, and that whole run was over, and then they were just awful.
Yeah, if you don't have a quarterback, man, I don't care who you got around you.
I can't remember if they traded for him after Arians or not, though. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I don't know, but if they did, it's just like, dude, you could make this trade, but it goes to what you're saying from a team standpoint. If you don't have the quarterback, why are you making these trades?
Well, because you're still trying to build up, and you're hoping that you might find the quarterback.
Yeah,
I mean, they brought in Sam Bradford the 1 year because. I mean, apparently they think he was going to be an upgrade of whatever they had. They drafted Josh Rosen. They've done things trying to find a quarterback. But I tell you all the time, outside, like when you talk about Pittsburgh, when you talk about New England, when you talk about New Orleans, when you talk about Green Bay, spoiled in terms of quarterback play. You take it for granted because you assume, well, we've had this guy for 15 years, 10 plus years. Oh, it is what it is. Quarterback isn't hard to find. When those quarterbacks are gone,
dude, these quarterbacks
it's 50-50 trying to find another quarterback.
Better and better coming out of college, though, for sure.
I hear you saying that, but according to the big winning and clutch moments and all that, we haven't seen all that. Mahomes has showed us that. The jury's still on Lamar, and Lamar was an MVP, but the jury's still on him. The jury's still on Deshaun Watson. We can go down the list in terms of guys that have won big-time clutch playoff games.
Well, dude, here's the thing, and this is what I was talking about earlier with just the plethora of quarterbacks. You got the dudes that are able to play longer now, like Ben, Brady, Breeze, Rodgers. These dudes are going into their late 30s and 40s, where you're still having these young dudes come in, and it's just like, who's going to be the best out of these young dudes? Like, you got to prove this in like a 3-4 year window, because like even look at Baker Mayfield. I don't think there's any doubt that he's talented. You know, he's like a pretty decent quarterback. He's capable of winning some games and being a starting quarterback for a team, but dude, you know, if he has an average year here, below average, you don't think Cleveland will be willing to move on from him here with these quarterbacks coming in? That's why there's just so many quarterbacks. But at the same time, if you're going, and if that's the case, they're ready to move on from Baker. Like, dude, he could be out there, and like I said, that could be a value play for some teams. Like if I'm not
taking Baker at any value over Dak, that's all I'm saying, bro.
If you got Baker at $10 million versus Dak,
I'll pay Dak because I know what Dak is. I know I can win with Dak. It's not the wild. It's not the he could be really good or he could be really trash. I don't have to worry about that with Dak.
I'd take
Dak
Baker,
is proving it.
Baker at $10 million though, easily.
I'm not. I'm wasting $10 million.
No way, dude.
So what has Baker done to make you feel so confident in Baker?
He had a good rookie year though.
And he had a trash second year.
At 10, you put him in Dallas' system. I think he could replicate what Dak's doing.
So hold on. You think that We'll find out this year because Cleveland's offense is going to be just as good as Dallas. So we'll find out soon.
I'm not even saying that he's better than Dak. I think they're comparable. I'd take Dak for sure. Whenever we were doing this ranking, I said Dak was better, but at the same time, at $10 million versus Dak at $38 million, that's easily
I'll pay
Baker.
Dak at 38 because I know what Dak is, especially in Dallas. I'm not tripping on it at all. When have we seen a fall off year that Baker had for Dak? When have we seen that? We haven't.
I mean, you could say his offensive line was worse. You could say, coaching.
How many more excuses you need?
Freddie Kitchen. It was a bad scenario for him.
So Dak ain't had bad coaching in Dallas? Dak hasn't had bad coaching in Dallas? Are we really gonna say that?
He's got stats. I mean, Garrett's an offensive coach.
He's a bad offensive coach compared to hopefully what Mike McCarthy could bring to the table.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I had McCarthy in my top 10.
Exactly. I ain't never. He said Garrett is a top 10 coach. Did you?
I wouldn't. Put him
okay.
We'll see this year, dude. Yeah. But at $10 million, Baker over Dak for sure.
Nah, I'm cool on Baker, man.
All right. Yeah, like I said, I think Dak's better. And I don't even know how good Baker is. But I mean, we've seen him win games and be
Baker's looked good one year, looked bad one year.
Yeah,
but you just seem to be a lot more like pro Baker being good, whereas when I bring up a guy like Josh Allen, who was average one year, really good next year,
at $10 million,
you're
gonna pay. Like if you have Josh Allen right now, you're gonna pay him $40 million.
He's not a $38 million quarterback right now, though.
That's what I mean, though. Like, what
is Baker a $38 million quarterback right now?
No, he's not. But I think you could find value with Baker at $10 million versus if Josh Allen. Let's say this because we've seen it with Kirk Cousins. We've seen people in the past where maybe they're on the brink. They're in that top 15 to top 10 range. They're going to get that high quarterback money.
Yeah, as they should.
Dude, I'd rather pay like a Baker at $10 million.
So you'd rather pay a guy 10 for the sake of value, but you're not going to win anything. That's a waste of time. For all that, you might as well tank.
I don't know about that. Cam's going to be getting paid $1 million here, and we'll see what happens with the Patriots.
Yeah, and if they don't win,
and we saw what happened. We saw what happened with Tannehill last year. If he would have signed a 2 or 3 year deal for like $10 or $15 million a year last year, Titans would have a steal right now. They would have a steal. So that's kind of what I mean. Like if you can, maybe it just takes a different change of scenery just to be competent, dude. Just because the value in a $10 million quarterback who is competent, where I don't know what the margin is of how
good quarterbacks don't get paid $10 million. Bro.
What's the margin?
What are we talking about here, man? Good quarterbacks don't get paid $10 million. It's not how it works.
Cam just got paid $1 million, dude.
Cam is coming off of injury. It's so many question marks surrounding Cam Newton.
Tannehill got paid $7 million last year. This is all my point.
Tannehill was doing what?
Dalton's getting paid $8 million. I'm not saying these guys are above the people in the top 15, but in terms of value,
what big winning are you doing with any of those guys right now?
You could load your team up now. Your team up now.
We'll see.
I mean, you made it to a Super Bowl with Jimmy G and Goff. So
we'll see.
That's what I mean. And that's what my other point is. All right, we saw what happens when they got there. Now, but at $10 million, I'll take that risk. Risk.
And don't say Goff because Goff was on the rookie deal when he made it to the Super Bowl. He got paid after that.
No, but still,
and then the team broke apart.
What I mean is that level of quarterback. You have your Daltons, your Tannehills. Like those guys are all in the same mix. But you're paying Dalton, Tannehill, Baker $10 million versus Goff and these other dudes in the $30 millions. I'll take that all day.
If Baker were to hit the market right now, Baker is not signing for $10 million.
He's not. I'm just saying, like, what if he has, what Tannehill did with the Dolphins, an average to maybe below average performance where the market's out there and no one really wants him. But some teams like, I'll give you a chance at like $10 million. Maybe you can compete for the starting quarterback job. We got a good defense and all that other stuff.
$10 million get you Nick Foles.
Huh?
They get you Nick Foles.
All right.
They get you Nick Foles.
He's not even getting $10 million. He's getting more than that.
Yeah, get you in that range.
I'm just telling you, there's the plethora of quarterbacks, dude. It's getting more expensive. I hear you. You can't tell me the Jaguars aren't regretting that Foles deal for sure.
I hear you, man.
Yeah. What we got anything else in terms of these deals? Is that it?
No, I think that was it, man. So we're good.
Bud, Henry, Garrett, and Dak.
And Dak, yeah.
That's good, dude.
I like it.
I like talking some deals here, dude. But yeah, that's about it, dude. Anything else?
Not that we're good, man. So shoot, man. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. You know how we roll, baby.
Until next time.
Peace. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We basketball fans over here. We love our hoop guys, college guys, future NBA guys, and we have one today. This kid right here, man, started at Cleveland State his first 2 years, where he was also named to the Horizon League All-Freshman team. Then after that, he took his talents out there to the Arizona State University, where he was over there performing at a high level, was named Pac-12 Player of the Week numerous times out there, and now he's an NBA draft prospect. So without further ado, we got Mr. Rob Edwards. Rob, man, how you doing today, man?
Hey, man, how you doing? Appreciate that intro, man. That was great, man.
No doubt, man. I mean, shoot, like I said, we fans, man. So when we see the numbers, we see what you done. Yeah, we got to make sure we give you love, man.
For sure, man. Hopefully it can work out just like how you said it, man.
And it definitely will, man. It definitely will. I mean, like I said, we see you putting in the work on the ground, man. We will get into that too. But just talk a little bit about, man, what was it like hearing while you're in the Pac-12 tournament the day before you're supposed to play in your game that it was going to be canceled due to COVID?
Oh, man, it was crazy, man, especially for me being a senior. I got a little emotional with the guys, man. They was all, apologetic for me. But, everything happened for a reason, so I just, looked at it as something that I just got to get over and just get through, keep on working. I know God still had a plan for me, and it's working out in my favor right now. I'm healthy. I haven't got in contact with COVID. So
I say keep it that way. Yes,
forward.
Indeed.
Yeah, we're just looking forward, pushing forward, keep on going.
Yeah, man, because, when I was just thinking about that as if I was in your shoes, I'm like, man, senior year, you obviously had made it to the tournament the year prior to that, but to have it canceled right before your game, man, that got to hurt, man. But I'm glad to hear you in good spirits with it, though.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. Even coach, he was a little, down, a little sad for us. But, like I said, it's all good. We just going to keep on pushing forward and, trust the process.
Absolutely.
So you've worked out with James Harden a little bit. How did that come about? Did he reach out to you? And what have you learned from him? What's that experience been like?
Oh, man, it was a great experience. I start there. He a real humble guy. I love that dude, man. He really He not what the media, portray him to be. He works super hard every day, all day. He just grind. It's different because he got so much confidence, man, and it's just crazy, like being in a workout with him. But I've been knowing him for a couple years, and his team. So when they came out to Arizona, he come out to Arizona every summer, and he'll work out, near campus and around ASU. So that's pretty much what we was doing. But his team reached out to me and told me that they out here, they working out. So when I got with him, he allowed me to stay with him and just go enjoy the grind with him every day. He showed me things, and he gave me a lot of confidence. He was talking to me every day, and he just really boosted up my spirits. And I took it from there. After there, we was just out here grinding for like a month, and then we went to Houston and we was doing the same grind for like a month. And I learned so much from him, and I just took it in and embraced it all. And I thank God for being able to be in that position, to learn. And that's really it. He just got me so much better, man, with confidence and with my skills and with my shooting ability. Every day he was talking to me and, pointing out little things, little details that he feel like I can become better at. So I just thank him for that. But I definitely got better, and I got my confidence where I needed to be, for my future.
I like
That's
that,
dope.
man.
Yeah,
Major respect. And I was going to say, I've seen some of the workouts y'all posted. Y'all outside. I'm like, I've been in Arizona. I just spent time out there. You working out outside, boy. God.
Yeah, no, we was grinding. Man. We was grinding every day.
Yeah, man. Y'all so real was for that, man.
Yeah, 2-3 workouts a day, man. Like heels. We was doing a mountain. We was doing, a lift. And then, of course, we would do open gyms and basketball workouts, shooting workouts at the gym, and that's pretty much all it was, bro. Just to grind.
Now, obviously, the NBA had to postpone its season. Now they're trying to get things back rolling with the guys down in the bubble, but they also had to move back the NBA Combine as well. So just talk about how all of these changes has impacted you, and just how have you been making sure that you're prepared for when that schedule does get released again, and you'll know when you're going to be doing what, and so on and so on.
Well, I like the second part of the question. I just been preparing myself, man, and just trying to stay healthy and just to stay in shape and, stay ready. So right now, I've really just been taking what James gave me and just, putting that into perspective every day and just waking up with that mindset and that confidence and just getting my own grind on, you know what I'm saying? And just trying to stay ready, like I said. And I'm not sure what they got going on, man, after the draft or when the draft is. I know when that is, but I don't know what they got going on before that or after, as far as coming in, working out with teams or a summer league, but I just leave it up to God, bro. Really, I just do what I can every day, try to get better, try to stay in shape, stay healthy, like I said, and just continue to grind. There's no telling with the virus going on, like when they gonna have things going on. So I just try to stay in the best shape possible so that when the time comes, I can be ready for whatever.
Yeah, because I think that's the thing that a lot of people have been overlooking or forgetting. They just solely focus on the NBA element of it in terms of the guys that are already there. But I'm like you said, summer leagues, combines, all that is traditionally happening right now. So from even just staying in shape, how you train your body for certain parts of the year to make sure you're ready at this time versus that time, all of that's affected by this situation right now.
Yeah, everything is, man. So it's just really just listening out, to my agent and just what he got to what he got to tell me, what he got to say about things, and trusting him, and just like I said, staying in shape, staying ready, because you never know, like the team might call you in, and you got to perform. But I have been, I talked to a few teams thanks to my agent, and I just been trying to, get those calls and just stay ready for those, and just try to, tell them about my story the same way I'm doing here with y'all. Just explain to them the type of kid I am and how bad I want it.
Absolutely.
Really.
Now, is there a time in your basketball playing career that you've doubted yourself the most? And how did you get over that?
Well, I wouldn't say that I doubted myself, but I would say that I didn't have as much confidence as I should have had, during that time.
Mm-hmm.
But it's day and night, man. You just got to keep your spirits up at all times. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar, but I did get hurt.
Yeah.
And I had to sit out. So
it was a back injury,
correct? So that kind of shifted my confidence in a way. But I built it back up, and I was reading books. I was just trying to go to the gym every day, even if my back was hurt, and I would just go do what I could do as far as sitting in a chair, shooting or doing ball handling. But I never really lost all my faith, man. I never really gave up on myself or doubted myself. It was more so just like I really just had to build my confidence back up, to the level where I had it before the injury came about. So that's pretty much all it was. But right now it's all gone, and I'm Rob Edwards, man. I work hard every day, and my confidence level is through the roof. So, I'm just trying to stay humble and just wait my turn.
Love it.
What books were you reading?
I forget, man, but it was a couple. Yeah, it was a couple good books. I got a mentor. His name's Phil Beckner. If y'all not familiar with him, he work out a lot of NBA guys, specifically like Dame. A lot of guys know him from Dame. But he gave me a couple books and referred me to a couple, and I read like 6 when I was hurt. But I can't remember the names of any of them, honestly. It was just like some books to help with like confidence, to help
positive,
with, God, staying positive through adversity, kind of books like that. But the author of 2 of the books that I read was Carl Lentz.
Okay.
He a real good dude. I think he a pastor in New York. That guy, he a real good dude. A lot of NBA guys actually go to his church when they come to New York to play. So
that's tight.
If y'all can look him up, he a real great guy. I can't remember what those books were called, but I'll definitely, text you guys.
Yeah, no worries. This. Yeah, no, appreciate it though. Yeah,
for sure.
Now, talk a little bit about, man, what led to you transferring from Cleveland State? Because let's be real, man, your first 2 seasons there, you were still lighting it up. Like I said, you were named to the All Horizon League as a freshman. I mean, you were having success there. So what led to that whole process of you leaving?
Oh, definitely. But it was we got a new coach. It was a coaching change, and I wasn't really familiar with the guy that came in, our new coach that came in. I was more familiar with our coach that left. He retired, and he told me to just make the best decision and decision that I felt most comfortable with. So I decided to open up my options. Once my relationship with the new coach, it wasn't really as strong as I hoped it would be. We didn't really have that communication piece. I didn't feel like that was strong enough for me to stay, So I opened up my options, man, and I got a lot of calls. I got a lot of schools that was after me. So I just tried to pick the best decision. And then I went on a couple visits, and I felt like Arizona was, like home, man. I came out here. I loved everything. I loved the coaching staff. I loved the type of things that they was telling me that I'm going to just have to work, for my position and work my way up. I love the weather out here, man. It was beautiful. So I chose to come here, and I feel like it was the best decision so far that I chose.
What did you do in that year off when you transferred? Like, how do you keep yourself occupied? I mean, you're probably going to school. I mean, how much is it? Are you out in Arizona State taking classes? Like, what is all going on in that year off? I'm kind of curious.
Yep, it was just a grind, man. Like every day, even on game days, we would have like our own little games, but it would just be like a 2-on-2, with the staff. But it was a grind. Like I said, we was in the gym probably 3 times a day, before practice, after practice, and then come back late at night. I'm not sure if you guys familiar with Zylan Cheatham. He transferred with me. He came from San Diego State and came here. Now he's on the Pelicans. He got a 2-way deal last season, but
Nice.
It was me and him. We was working out together. So we was working on all of our skills, man, opening up our game and just, trying to stay confident and stay ready, like I said before. But we was just in the gym all day, man. So like a regular day would be, we would go to the gym before practice. And then at practice, the starters would hate us, man, because if our coach is so competitive, like we would be on the team with a couple guys who didn't really play as much, and we would be beating the starters. And they would be mad because we would be real life competitive with them. And they just came in and thought practice just was, going to be a walk in the park and just try to keep all their energy for the game. But shit, our practices was like our games. So it was super competitive, man. And that's pretty much it. We was just on the grind like 3 times a day, literally every day.
Nah, major respect to that. And I mean, just speaking of how you treated some of those practices like games, man, you had a game where you dropped 27 on Kentucky. I mean, that's one of the blue bloods, right? When you talk about college basketball and stuff. So, man, just talk about that performance and, man, what was going on with you that day?
Man, I don't know. I really don't know. I treated it like a regular day, man. But obviously, my whole family and friends wanted me to have a great showing. I'm not sure if it was televised or whatnot, but I definitely was locked in, on the court. I feel like everything for me was going in. And we didn't really come out on top or nowhere near on top. But I definitely, kind of got a lot of people's attention from that game going against those guys that all went, and got drafted after that season. But I don't know. I just feel like I was just blessed that day, man. A lot of shots that I was shooting was going in, and it seemed like the ball kept coming to me. So I was just trying to put it in a hole and just, have a great game like every night. But like I said, we ain't really come out on top, so it wasn't really too much to brag about.
Got you.
Do you have a story about almost the opposite type of game, but at the end you were able to like bounce back late in the second half and get your mojo going? Like things weren't going good in the first half, or you were just having an awful game. Is there some type of story there where, like I said, things aren't going right, but you were able to bounce back and how you got through it in a game? Maybe pulled out the win?
At the Kentucky game or just
No, just in general. Is there a game maybe you look back on and you're like really proud of because it was a bad game, but then you were able to pull it out at the end somehow?
Oh yeah, definitely, man. I had a couple games like that, but recently I got chewed out by coach in the locker room. He came to me and he like, man, you this, you that, you ain't making no shots, this and that. And I'm like, all right, let me lock in. And the whole team looking at me like with the little sad faces. So it was actually at UCLA.
Okay.
It was at UCLA, not this past season, but the season before. And then I came out and I was just hot, man. I think I went like 7 for 9 in that half. In the first half, I only think I made like 2 shots. But to do that, though, man, I feel like you just got to be in the right place mentally. You can't really be too down on yourself. You always got to keep your confidence. I seen a post, I think it was Deion Waiters, that say, like, I'd rather be 0 for 30 than 0 for 7, because if you 0 for 30, that means you kept shooting.
Yeah.
And that's really how I looked at every situation that I was ever in, man. I just keep going, like, keep shooting. Don't really, get down on myself. I'm going to always bring my defense and my energy to the game, but offense, that might or might not be there every night, so the key to that is just keep your confidence and just keep on shooting, keep on doing what you got to do to help the team win. And that's what I do or try to do every night.
Major respect, man. What they say, shoot or shoot, man.
Yeah, you got to let it fly, man.
Yes, sir. So, man, talking a little bit about your coach, obviously, for those that don't know, man, you played under a basketball legend in Bobby Hurley. So, man, just talk about what was that like, and what was the one thing that you felt that he did to impact you the most?
Man, he did a lot of things that impacted me, man. But playing under him was crazy. Just like you really listening to a legend. Like you got a legend coming in here every day telling you what to do for practice, telling you how to shoot, telling you how to dribble the ball, telling you different type of reads. So it's just like only thing you can do is just sit back and listen and embrace every moment. That's really all it was for me and what I did every day, really. But I'm sorry, bro. My bad. What was the second part of the question?
Oh, you good, man. The second part, like I said, was just how has he impacted you, or what was the one thing that you would say that impacted you the most from him?
Yeah, he impacted me in a crazy way. Just like I said, just keeping my confidence and just always going hard, man. Because I'm gonna tell you a story. It was one day we played U of A, University of Arizona, and the game before. Like we would lose, it was my first time playing there. We would lose. He read out the numbers of the scores, and he did a suicide, man, for each point that we lost by for like the previous 30 or not 30, but like previous 5 years, and came out to like 30 suicides. So he did them all.
Oh, wait! Shout out to Bobby. God, dog.
Yeah, and his age, man, for him to be able to do that, man, it was crazy seeing that. So from that day forward, like I always knew, his main issue with guys was just, go hard, like no matter what. So that got my respect, bro. From when I first stepped on campus, it was just I'm gonna go hard as I can for this guy every day. And that's really what I took from him. Just no matter what the circumstances, no matter how my body feeling, how my mind is, just go hard, no matter what, because it's gonna pay off.
Does he ever talk about the time him and all those college players beat the dream team?
Oh, he always.
No way.
He got to brag about that, man. He always bringing that up. When we watching film, man, he's snapping on us. If we take a bad loss, he's snapping on us, and he right to it. He bringing up his story about how they won. But he hilarious, though. That's my guy.
Oh, man.
That's awesome.
Oh, man, that's tight. That's tight. Now,
yeah,
doing that. Oh, you go ahead. Go ahead. What you gonna say?
No, I was just going to say, like, yeah, for sure. That's him.
Yeah. Now, during that 2018-2019 season, man, y'all made it to March Madness. Actually won the play-in official game, and then ended up, not having the most success in that first round game after that. But just talk about overall the experience, man. What was it like for you competing in March Madness, man?
That was crazy. I would say that it was a great experience, man. It was one of the best experiences playing in college that you could have, so for this year to not have that and have that taken away was kind of, it kind of sucks, but it is what it is, man. But last season playing in the March Madness was crazy. Like when we got there, the energy was crazy. I think we probably landed at like 2 a.m, man, but it was people standing outside cheering for us, like music playing at our hotels.
That's tight.
And it's just like, yeah, like this is what, this is what college basketball are really about. Getting in this tournament and just trying to go as far as you can. Like you said, though, we didn't have great success, but we learned a lot. And this season, we definitely was coming back, to get further than we did. And like I said, everything don't play out like you want it, but it is what it is. So to the guys listening, or the college guys listening, like just go hard every day and try to get in that tournament, man. And when you get there, try not to lose, because it's win or go home. So. Embrace it all and just enjoy your time.
Hey, great advice on that, man. Great advice.
Sure.
Now, I got to ask, man. So, you're a hooper. I love sports. We love basketball. We always had this debate all the time. Jordan, LeBron. What side you rolling with, man? Who you got here?
Oh, that's tough. You gonna do me like that? But no, I'm gonna keep it real though, man. Everybody I know, they understand me, so. I didn't really get to watch Jordan a lot growing up.
I love where this is going.
Wow.
I love where this is going.
Yeah, no, I'm still give it to Jordan though. I gotta go with Jordan.
Yeah, I agree. So hold on, are you with me on this? I feel like we just have to see how LeBron's career plays out still. Like right now, I think we got to give the nod to Jordan.
For sure. If you just look at the way that Jordan moved, that's what got me. Just like his skill set and his ability to just move around in the air and with the ball on the floor, like it's just crazy seeing him move. LeBron more of like a small forward, and I feel like Jordan's more like of a real shooter, like a shooter and a playmaker. Bron can make plays too, don't get me wrong, but it's just Bron he moves differently. It's not as fluid as how MJ did it, man. And then you got to put the rings into it,
Talk about
so I would say I'm taking Jordan, man.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, I'm like one of the biggest LeBron fans. Me and Moats both are, but we've disagreed on this point before. I say you give it to Jordan right now and just see how LeBron's career plays out. If he gets 1 or 2 in LA, man, I think that's something to think about then for sure. Let's see how his longevity plays out.
Yeah, he definitely changing the game though. Being able to, switch teams like that and still get a ring, that's tough.
Oh, absolutely.
So I got respect for Brown. Like Brown, really one of my favorite players. It ain't no knock on him, but I just got to go with MJ, man. Just the way that he played the game of basketball was just crazy.
Well, Jordan got the better shoes, so there we go. I'm going to roll with him right now. All right, so before we let you go, man, we always ask people, man, so obviously in the NFL, you hear about the welcome to the NFL moment or NBA welcome to the NBA moment. So for you, man, just talk about your welcome to college basketball moment.
That'll probably have to be when I was in Cleveland, man. When I was in Cleveland, we had a workout on the beach on the sand at like 5 a.m, man. When we was just doing everything. And I mean, I wasn't in the back of the group, but I was kind of in the middle. But the older guys, I was a freshman, so the older guys was kind of helping me out. But I was dead, man. When you talk about boot camp training, all that in one, it was crazy. We was doing tire rolls on the sand. We was doing, it was like a military boot camp day. It was crazy, man. They had us doing sprints. We was pushing trucks, literally F-150 trucks. We was pushing them with like a group. It was one of the worst days, man. I went to sleep for like 2 days after that. I had sand all in my head, man, everywhere.
It's the worst.
That was for sure one of the welcome to college moments, man. It's just like, once you get to college, those 6 a.m. workouts, 7 a.m.s, it's just like day in and day out. Yeah, you ain't no telling. You got to do it,
Yeah, absolutely, man. Nothing like a 6 a.m. workout in college, man. It's the absolute worst.
Yeah, I ain't never knock on wood, I ain't never got dunked on or dropped in college. But, those workouts was crazy, bro.
Man. But you survived it, man, and you better for it, man. So all good.
Yes, sir.
Hey, well, Rob, man, we appreciate you again, man, hopping on the podcast with us, man. Wish you nothing but the best going forward, man. We know you're going to keep being successful, man. Just keep that same positive energy and everything that you do, bro.
For sure, man. I appreciate y'all. I really do, man.
Yeah, bro. Appreciate it. This was awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, peace.